Hello, everyone. So good to see you today. I'm going to just give a moment for people to hop on. This is the Decision Making Mastery Masterclass. So I'm really excited to be here with you today. I'm going to make sure that I can see all of the comments coming in on the live video. And that will be really awesome to have you engage with me, to learn and to grow today, not only during this masterclass, but as you allow the concepts to sink in, as you allow the concepts to work for you. So my name is Helen Eimers. I'm a nurse turned life coach, and I absolutely love to empower women to live their best life, to live the most amazing life with peace, simplicity, and joy, as well as build their confidence so that we can walk through our lives with confidence, engagement, and without the fear all of the time of things going wrong, of people thinking a certain way about us, of being stunted in making decisions. And so it's very important to me to teach all the women in the world this concept because living in fear is hard. It's heavy. It takes a lot of time. It takes a lot of energy away from you. And it causes anxiety, right? Like there's this tightness in your chest. And when you can live with more peace and simplicity and joy, by building your confidence, it can change so many things for you. It can give you time to do the things you love. It can give you time and energy to focus on the things and the people that you love versus always focusing on the things that are challenging you most. So part of having that confidence and that peace and that joy and simplicity is comes with being able to make decisions. So I was someone for years who made decisions. It was exhausting for me to make decisions. If it's exhausting for you to make decisions, please drop a comment, put a thumbs up down in the chat. I totally feel you, or like this video right now. Making decisions used to be really, really hard for me for several reasons. Number one, I always was making decisions based out of a place of what will other people think or feel or do or think about me. I was also always making decisions from a place of lack, right? Like, well, what if this doesn't happen? Or what if this is more challenging? And so it can be really exhausting to make decisions. And studies have shown, the stats have shown that we make decisions over 3,500 decisions a day. Excuse me, 35,000. I'm going to change that. 35,000 decisions a day, right? Like you get up, you brush your teeth, you have to, decide what to do with the kids, what shirt they wear, what socks they wear, what shoes they wear. And it can be really exhausting. Yes. Kayla's saying, I like to avoid and put off the decisions that I don't want to make. Yes, I used to do that too. What happened when I did that, when I put them off, is it weighed heavily on my heart, right? Just because I set them aside for now, I would still think about them and I would still stew about them and I would still have this inner unrest, right? Opposite of peace, right? We don't have peace when we've got a decision hanging over our head, really, no matter what it is. And Yvette saying, yes, sounds familiar. Kirby saying, my terror is around picking things out for others, especially buying gifts or picking a restaurant. That's so interesting. Thank you for sharing. It was very evident that, that, if you don't mind me saying, is really based on the needs to make sure that we make people feel or think a certain way, which isn't our job. I used to think it was my main job all the time. I used to want everyone to be happy. And while I love people being happy, right? Like this is an amazing world. I want people to find joy and be happiness. That isn't up to me, but I always made it my job. And so if I stewed about like, what do I get them? What does this look like? Will they like it? What will they think this about me if I give this to them? Those thoughts and feelings and actions were, let's face it, they're exhausting. So thank you so much. Keep typing in the chat as things resonate with you, as I share experiences and you maybe have similar or different experiences, because we're going to coach right on this call. And that is really amazing about my masterclasses and the things that I love to do. So when we put off a decision or we really worry about what someone else is going to think or feel, it's exhausting. It weighs us down. And even if we put it off and we're like, I'll think about this tomorrow, it's still in your mind unless you do some really intentional work about releasing and letting it go and knowing that you can always access it. And I have some fun tricks for that as well. So if you're someone who hangs out in indecisiveness and uncertainty, this class is for you. I'm so glad you're here, whether live or watching the replay. And if you are here live and haven't commented yet, please say live. If you're catching the replay, please comment replay. I'd love to interact with you as well. Um, it is this place of unrest. Like I said, like it's opposite of peace. It doesn't feel peaceful when we are stuck in a decision-making mode that doesn't feel good for us. Now, we have upwards to 35,000 decisions we make a day. Not all of them feel yucky, right? Like, oh, I'm going to pick this shirt. I'm going to do this. For me, picking my clothes used to be and feel really, really exhausting. It no longer does, but I still think about them. So making a decision is a part of life. It is the human experience. So when we can take something that is a human experience and learn how to change our thoughts and our beliefs about it, it can change everything. And that's what I do as a life coach. I help people utilize and process through their human experiences in the most joyful of ways, knowing that part of the human experience is that there's going to be discomfort. There's going to be discomfort. There are going to be negative emotions, and that is part of the human experience. Versus when we always feel unsettled or negative or uncertain about things and we get angry about it, like that's normal. That's part of life. That's part of the human experience. But how can we do that so that we feel better about it more times than not, and so that we can get out of the indecisiveness and uncertainty? So I like to address why decision making can be exhausting. I've touched on a few things already, but also like we are faced with so many decisions a day. Not only are we faced with 35,000 plus decisions a day, those might be big, those might be small, right? Maybe it's like making a decision to change jobs. Maybe it's making a decision what time you want to get up in the morning. And so that, when you look at all of that, studies say that you spend over 3 hours making decisions a day, right? Those little minutes add up. They really, really add up. And it takes you even longer. It even takes more of your time when and if you are feeling uncertain, if you lack confidence, or if you have people pleasing tendencies. It's going to take longer to make that decision. And then, even after you make the decision, you may feel uncomfortable or uncertain. And so, it's really important to learn how to be a master at decision making so that you have more time and freedom and peace in your days, because we cannot buy those things. We cannot get them back. So if you're wondering why some days you're exhausted, but you just, well, I didn't really do anything physically taxing, or, I was just working. You're making your mind is working all of the time. So it's okay also to give yourself some space and grace and know that, like, decision making is exhausting and you spend so much time there in a day. And like I said, even more if you're feeling uncertain, if you are feeling or lack confidence, or if you have people pleasing tendencies. So today I'm going to teach you some really foundational practices you can start implementing today to help you become a decision making master. Now, I work with my clients on this. I teach my clients this. We talk about it in concepts. We also talk about it in our coaching calls, right? Like the decisions, my clients bring to me decisions and we walk through that and I help them with this process. And these foundational practices are really important, not only for decision making, but for all areas of your life, to help you step into your confidence and allow yourself, gift yourself more peace, more inner peace, versus this constant maybe tightening of your chest or your throat. Most of the time when we feel uncertain or indecisive, or we feel an unrest or anxiety, we feel it not only mentally or psychologically, we feel it physically, right? Like I feel it in my chest, I feel it in my throat, I get a headache. right? I feel dizzy. My neck starts to hurt right here. It's so important, especially with my background as a nurse, to pay attention to the whole body and the whole mind. And that's why when some people start to implement changes, they don't take all of those pieces into consideration, and they can be really key to healing the whole body and the whole mind. So we're going to get started. So the first thing I have for you today when becoming a decision-making master is identify your values and your vision. Now, some of you may be like, oh gosh, that seems like a lot of work. Okay, it does take time. You will want to sit down for 30 to 60 minutes. I promise you it doesn't take as long as you think. It's just the process of doing. And imagine if you take an hour, set aside an hour to identify these, think how many hours in your day you can spend being in a place of more peace and joy, because you can make decisions more quickly and efficiently and effortlessly. So even though, yes, working on yourself takes time, whether it's physically or mentally, it will give you time back. And that is what's so amazing to me about, working on yourself physically and mentally. It gives you time back, whether you can, measure that or not. You will start to notice the change. So identify your values and your vision. Now, if you're unsure what values and vision are, typically I like to help people with 5 values. So, what are those main things in your life that are most important to you? Is it family? Is it faith? Is it friends? Is it experience? Is it travel? Is it um, work? Is it learning, growing, love, joy, compassion, integrity, intention? There are so many words, and you can Google, right? Like, how do I figure out my values, or examples of values? And what that does for us by even just having 5 words, even if all you do is choose 5 words that really connect with you and how you want to live your life, even if you don't define them, even if you don't do anything else, that alone will help you make decisions more quickly and more effortlessly and efficiently. Because if someone approaches me, for example, if someone approaches me, as someone recently did, Kirby is on this call, and she approached me about traveling with her to Hawaii. And it would have been very easy for me to go into this spiral and this tailspin, and I want to, but I can't, and I should, and I need to. One of my values is experience. And so I knew right away that I connected, the decision to go with her or not. I used one of those values to help make that decision, because one of my values is experiencing the most amazing things in this life. And so it was easier for me to make a decision versus hanging out in indecisiveness and feeling very challenged by that decision. Were there many other factors at play? Absolutely. And I had to look at all of those and what that looked like. But it was easier for me to have, it's almost like a path, right? Like a yellow brick road. Like you are on this path and you know what you desire for your future, which makes it easier for you to make decisions. So if you haven't sat down and done any vision or values work, that's where you need to start. It takes so much of the guesswork out of making a decision. And it's like I said, you have that map that you can follow to make the best decision for you, for future you. And maybe you get stuck in like, well, I wouldn't have made this decision in the past, or I'm not sure if I would make this decision in the future. What does it look like for you? So that's why identifying your values and vision is so important, not only for decision making, but for anything you do in life, the way you talk to people, the things that you say, the things you experience. And really, those are all decisions when it comes down to it. Everything in your life is a decision. The word that comes out of my mouth, I decided to say that. Sometimes your brain doesn't keep up with the words coming out of your mouth, but for the most part, you have made a decision to engage in a conversation, right? Like if someone talks to me, I can decide to turn around and walk away. That's a decision. And that takes time and that takes energy. Okay. So, number 1, identify your values and vision. And remember, taking an hour to do this or less will give you so much time on the back end. When do you want to feel this discomfort? Do you want to feel the discomfort in sitting down for an hour to identify these things, or for the rest of your life when you're trying to make decisions and you have no roadmap? Okay, so there's always discomfort in life. You get to decide when you will experience it. Okay, instead of I don't know, focus on what do I know. So this is the second concept that I want to bring to you today. So many times in my life, I have said, I don't know, I don't know, I don't know, I don't know. When we say, I don't know, it makes us feel very confused. It makes us feel very uncertain, and we lack confidence, right? It's a scary place. It's a place of fear. Living in I don't know, it's fearful. I don't know if I'm going to get the job. I don't know if I'm still going to have a job. I don't know if they're going to say this to me. I don't know what I'm going to have for supper. It's scary. It's so scary to be there. And I hung out there for so much of my life. And while there are still times where I say, I don't know, I really try to catch myself because it makes me feel, whether you recognize it or not, whether you're aware or not, it makes you feel confused and uncertain and lack confidence. But on the alternative, if you focus on what do I know, you can find certainty and confidence in that as you focus on what you do know or what you can learn, the ideas start flowing. So I don't know if you've ever even just like a brainstorming session, right? If you're like, hey, or you're working to collaborate, or if you've ever been put in a group in a room with people and they've had you do this stupid group thing and you hated it, but at the end you're like, wow, we really came up with some good ideas. That's brainstorming, and that's what do I know? What resources do I have? And what that does is the ideas start flowing. Something I really have a habit of doing sometimes is like, I don't know what to post. And when I say I don't know what to post, it makes me feel confused and uncertain and lack confidence. And frankly, it's bullshit because I have so many things I want to share with all of you. But when I say, what do I know? Oh gosh, let me open up my notes section of my phone where I like jot down inspiration all hours of every day about things I want to teach other women and learn about myself. Oh, okay, I know all of that. Wow. And as I start writing and as I start thinking and as I start saying, the ideas start to flow out of you. So if you block it off with an I don't know, you will stay very stuck. You will feel very stuck. And so, I don't know really means you haven't taken time to reflect on the decision or allow your inner voice to help guide you. And building that confidence is knowing, right? Confidence is really the willingness to try and also listening to that inner voice, because really that's what's most important is that inner voice, because the things that I do not may not connect with you or someone else. So using that inner voice for guidance is super important. So instead of focusing on I don't know, focus on what do I know. And even if it is like if someone says, do you want to go to lunch? I don't know. Well, what do I know? Okay, I will be hungry at noon. Or if someone says, here's the one that really catches me up, because sometimes I really just don't care, right? There's a difference between I don't know and I don't care, right? And even when you say I don't care, I would raise the bullshit flag a little bit on that. Because, for example, someone says, what do you want to eat? Have you ever had this happen? Where either you tell someone, like, where do you want to go eat? Or they say, where do you want to go eat? And the other person's like, I don't care. Well, then you suggest something. They're like, I don't really want that. So you do freaking care. Okay. And I do this too. I'm calling myself out on it. So we all have thoughts about every single circumstance, right? If I see someone with a blue coat, I'm going to have a thought about that, whether it's like the thought is neutral or the thought is, wow, that coat looks nice, or, oh my God, I would never wear that color. Like we all have thoughts about literally every circumstances because that's who we are. We are humans and we think. And we have established and developed thoughts throughout the years and our lives and from influences that make us who we are. So we all have a thought about something, even if you say you don't. You do. And there are sometimes truly where it's like, there are three places I truly don't care where we eat. And if you say that, then when this person suggests something, you can say, okay, that's great, right? Instead of coming back. So speaking your truth is really important when it comes to decision making, because we all have a thought about things and we all have different thoughts about things. And we all know something. We do, right? Like when someone says, do you want to go eat lunch? I know that I don't have time to do that. Do I want to tell them that I'm not going to go eat lunch, or do I want to pretend that I do have time and do that? So instead of I don't know, focus on what do I know? And the ideas would start flowing. Okay. And the last concept I want to bring to you today or share with you today is start making decisions for you. This is a really hard one. It was really hard for me. Anyone who's listening or watching the replay, is it hard for you to make decisions based on you, for you versus other people, right? So when we make decisions for us, we work to let go of that fear of what someone else will say or do or think. And in doing that, we have to be willing to let people be confused about us. You have to let people be willing to be confused about you. Meaning, if you say yes or no or make a decision, they're going to have a thought about it, just like you had a thought about it. And they may think differently, and they may make assumptions, and they may think a certain way out about you. They are entitled to that thought. And sometimes it's not always the thought that we want, right? Because I like everyone to like me. That's not possible. I make mistakes and I am a human. But we have to let people be willing to let people be confused about us. And that's hard. It really is. But it's something we have to be willing to do. And I like to say that phrase, it's a phrase from my coach, about willing to let people be confused about us versus they don't like me, or they think that I did this, or this happened and she's going to think this about me. Well, all those things may be your assumptions and maybe our thoughts you're thinking, they're just confused. They're confused about who I really am. They're confused about what I said or didn't say. And that's okay. They have the right to be confused because we are confused about people too. We are confused about situations too. And most of that confusion comes from making assumptions. And I have really done so much work over the last few years to not make assumptions. And when my clients come to me and they tell me an assumption versus a circumstance is a fact. When they share with me an assumption, I am pretty direct and say, have you asked them this? Right? Like if someone says they are mad at me, they didn't like what I did you ask them directly if they were mad at you? Did you ask them directly if they didn't like what you did? Right? So we have to be willing to have the hard conversations. We have to be willing to let people be confused about us because they will be. You're not everyone's cup of tea. I am not everyone's cup of tea. Not everyone will like the decisions I make. Not everyone will like the things that I do. Not everyone will agree with the way that I parent or the life that I live. And I'm okay. I'm willing to let people be confused about that. And this way you can step forward with decision making without fear. So like Kirby, you shared like, oh, I'm terrified about picking things for others, especially buying gifts or picking a restaurant, right? They will have a certain thought about it, but you can identify, what connects most with you and your values and your vision and what you do know, right? Like I do know they love owls. I'm going to buy them this owl. Even if they have 50,000 other owls, I'm doing it because I want to, not because I feel like I have to, right? And so they may be confused. They may be like, wow, what is she thinking? I already have 500 owls. Well, they can then tell you that. They can choose to be impeccable with their word, or they can be confused about you. And that's okay. So I think it's fun. I've kind of seen it or tried to see it as a game or a little challenge to like, I want people to be confused about me. I want them to be intrigued about me. And that's not because it's like, look at me. I want people to wonder what I'm up to. But if I would let go of that ability to let people be confused about me, I would really be very stuck in fear because I'd be worrying all the time and making decisions based on what I think other people want. Yeah, Kirby, the mantra that we have talked about in the past is making others happy isn't your job. I always thought it was my job. Like I thought it was my full-time job. It is not. We are not responsible for other people's thoughts and other people's feelings. So the three concepts today, just in review, is identify your values and vision. Instead of I don't know, which is very easy. It's almost like the easy way out, yet it exhausts us because like staying in I don't know makes us feel confused and uncertain and lack confidence. It's also like this like hanging over our head because we're like, I don't know what to do. I don't know what to do. It leaves me very anxious. So instead of focusing on I don't know, focus on what do I know and start from there. And you always know something, period. Try to fight me on that. You always know something. I believe that you do. I believe that everyone does. And then start making a decision for you. And this one's hard. These are all can be hard. But making a decision for you is hard, especially when you've spent your entire life making decisions based on making other people happy. So after, as you implement these, you can really work to let go of some of that indecisiveness and uncertainty and really step forward into a place of certainty and confidence, right? The more you make decisions that feel good, before, during, and after, right? Sometimes people just ask you the questions. You haven't even thought about it, but you're like, I can't even think about that right now. Right? Have you ever done that? I've done it. It's like someone throws something, another decision I have to make, and I'm like, can't even look at it, can't even talk about it, can't even focus on it. I've done that before. It's just like too much. Like I'm already overwhelmed before I even thought about making the decision. It's overwhelming. It's amazing how our brain works. Kayla says I often get stuck where I get tired of others not making a decision, and so then I make the decision and then they are frustrated with me. Interesting. Okay, so this happens too because we are surrounded by people who process things differently, right? And so what I would encourage you to do in that point is say, in order for me to move forward, I'm going to need an answer from you by this date and time. Now, this doesn't always work, but this is a way you can communicate and say, and really put it back on you and say, I'm really anxious that this decision hasn't been made yet. I know that the decision is yours, but so that I can move forward and do my piece, can you please let me know by this time and date? They may let you know, they may not, but what you're doing is you're helping them evolve into someone who makes a decision more quickly versus letting it hang over their head for years. So you're actually helping them by being very impeccable with your word and being very direct with them. And they will either start to change or they will hate it, or and then your process can be um, you know I I'm not trying to be mean, I'm not trying to be forceful, but in order for me to move forward with the things I need based on this decision, please make it by this, right? Love that wordage. Yeah, polite but specific and direct. Be impeccable with your word, and it's something I'm always working on because I say stupid shit all the time. Like I'm working on it, but the more I practice this, the more I'm really honest and direct. It helps people because when we're not honest and direct and when we're vague, it's very uncertain, right? I tell people all the time, like people will be like, oh, can you help me with this? And I'm really doing my best to, like, before I commit, like, when does it need to be done and what exactly does it look like? Because I want to make an informed decision about, my time frames. And if someone says, oh, it doesn't have to be done for like a year, I will not do it. I will not do it. I will forget. It's not a priority for me. So by people being impeccable and clear with me, I can get the things done. And they may have miscommunicated, right? They're like, well, I really needed this done 6 months ago. And I'm like, well, you actually didn't give me a date, so I didn't do it. And then we go back to the drawing board. But yes, just giving them a time and a date, you may be giving them such a gift by helping them because their whole life they've spent in this indecisiveness and it's exhausting to them, and they always wait till the last minute, and that feels even worse. And so what if by holding them accountable, well, not what if, you will, by holding them accountable, be giving them a gift to spend less time in the uncertainty and decision making. I love that. Thank you so much for sharing. And so after a few weeks of implementing these practices, you will feel less overwhelmed. You will get more time back, and it's amazing. And, this time will create space for the things that are most important to you, which is what life is all about, right? I don't want anyone on their deathbed to be like, well, I spent like, do the math. And like, I spent so much time in decision-making mode. It's exhausting. Okay. So how amazing is it that just implementing these 3 little steps can get you more time in your days? And that's what I love teaching women. I love teaching concepts, functional concepts, that give you more time and freedom in your days. Because we cannot buy more time or more freedom, but we can create it for ourselves. And so I would love to continue to support you by not only implementing these practices, but also committing to them consistently. So I would love for you to use this group as a space to comment, use this chat thread, this live video chat thread as a place to, hey, I tried this, it didn't work, it went terrible, they actually hated me. Number one, do they hate you? Is that true? Did you ask them? So that's an assumption. But using this group, Be Better Than You Were Yesterday, or this comment thread to share the implementation of these practices and ask questions. Feel free to privately message me. I would love to support you so that I can help you apply it to your situation, because we have so many situations and circumstances throughout our day. So the main thing about this, as with anything else, is consistency. Consistency leads to momentum. The more consistently you do something, the easier it becomes, and the more momentum you build up. And eventually, what once was a struggle becomes a habit, and habits are hard to break, right? Because when I work with clients, we work to break habits that they've done and thoughts that they've had all of their life, right? I'm 36. Like for 36 years, I've been doing it this way, or for the better part of it, right? So it's really hard to break that habit, and it takes time, and it takes help, and it takes support, because you shouldn't have to do it alone. And so that's why consistency is so important. It is really the key to making lasting change. So I would love to know your thoughts about this masterclass, if this helped you, if there was something that stuck out to you more, what things you plan to implement. I would also love for you to report back either in this live chat thread or anywhere in the group, just to say, hey, I tried this and it really helped, or I tried this, but it didn't feel right. Can you help me with it? I want to support you on this journey that you have of giving yourself more time and freedom, giving yourself more peace and joy, because those are the things we can't buy. Like there's no price on that. And if you are in a space where you got very inspired by what I was talking about today, and you are ready to have more peace and joy in your life, please message me. I would love to hop on a call so that I can help you apply this to your specific circumstances, to your specific situations, so that you can get more time and energy back in your days. And I'm so thankful for those of you who joined, for those of you who are watching the replay. Please again comment any things or thoughts you would like to share, and I look forward to talking to you all soon. I love you guys so much. Implement this so that you can have more time and peace. And then what happens, because it's a human experience, our mind always wants to create problems. So when you create more time and peace in your life, you're like, the problem is, what do I do with all this extra time, right? Anyone ever had that happen? And so that is really powerful when my clients are really working, and when women really work to implement these things. And then there's another problem, and then they often think there's something wrong with them, which is not the case. The human experience is to keep solving for what we're working with and keep feeling supported in that by the help of someone who is really not scared to help you grow and be honest with you, and someone to help you stay accountable like a coach. So I love you guys. Please message me if you want me to help you apply this to a specific situation. I would love to do that, and I will talk to you all soon. Take care.